GameyDaddy.
Hello everyone, this is Emmond with GameyDaddy, and I'm here with another video from Tom Clancy's The Division / The Division 2. So, I haven't done anything, I haven't said anything based on the announcement that came over a month ago regarding the release or the announcement of the release of The Division 2, or the fact that Massive is actually working on the game. Now, why I didn't say anything is because a year ago I made a video titled The Division 2, The Future We Want. So I would say go back and look at that video. If you watch that video, it was kind of weird because that video, I made that with the mindset that the Division 2 was probably going to be announced last year in E3, but I never mentioned a lot of dates. And so if you watch the video, I was watching the video, it felt like I was just saying things that were relevant to today, but that's because even by the time the developers announced that they were working on the Division 2, SkillUp had already been onto them. A lot of news outlets that were doing game coverage and journalists were already onto the studio asking if they were going to do a sequel to the IP. And it made sense from every business perspective that they did that. So I just went on with the whole, Inquisition train, like, hey, are they going to do it? Or if they do it, this is what we'd like to see. Because I was quite curious because the game did well. I mean, from a business perspective, they did very well. Even to finish, they finished very strong with patch 1.8, patch 1.8.1. So everything so far just said that they were going to either release a sequel or maybe continue to extend the game like they are with their other titles like Rainbow Six Siege. They're probably going to do something like that for Assassin's Creed as well. But, games as a service, whatever it is, I thought they were going to go that route, but Division 2 is what it's at right now, and I think that's exciting news. Now, I've been gone for a while. Yes, I've been doing a lot of work, just taking care of things. And for those of you who know this channel, this is pretty much a part-time YouTube channel, so my consistency is not going to be anything that you can actually, I don't know, put a finger on. But you guys know I'm still here to do Division content, so I'm not going anywhere. I like the game. I've always liked the game. And so expect to see, seasons where I'm kind of quiet, I'm kind of silent. But, for those of you who know me, who know the grind, I'm taking care of business here in the real world. I don't have the, the time right now or the luxury to do as much on YouTube as I would like to, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it. So let's jump into what it is I'm here for today. So the hype is kind of, decreased, the hype is lowered, and I wanted to put some really serious thought into everybody's mind. I'm not scripting right now, but these thoughts have been on my mind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make about a 3-part video where I'm gonna talk about my predictions for what we're gonna see in the next Division game. Now, these are predictions, okay? But I'm not predicting out of thin air. What I'm doing is I'm following a pattern within which the Division developers used to close out this game. I feel like there are things that they actually put out toward the end of this game, and even some in the beginning, that they used to pretty much test what it is they wanted to put on the second Division sequel. Now, they announced that they've been working, they said this, that they've been working on the Division 2 since after the release of the Division 1. I mean, if you release a game and it sells over 100 and something $1 million in sales or something crazy like that, I think the time it was released, it beat like all the other games that came out that year, including FIFA, which usually is a huge massive release. Tom Clancy's The Division was like right up there with a lot of the games in some kind of success categorization. I can't remember if it was in sales or if it was a number sold. I need to go back and look at that data. But there were some things that I've seen that they kept doing, and I'm gonna put my first prediction out there. My first prediction for the Division 2 is we're actually going to see the full implementation and introduction, I'll say the full implementation of classes. Now, what do I mean by classes? Now, in RPG games, there's what they call the perfect trio, where you have a DPS dealer, a healer, and someone who's a tank. Now, this is kind of like the very simple way of putting it. Well, everyone plays a specific role and does a specific, task. I'm thinking, and this is just my prediction, I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll just take down the video. But I think they're going to actually fully implement it. Now, how do I know this? Well, toward the end of the Division 1 in development and in releasing updates, they released the classified gear sets. Now, yes, I made a video regarding my classified gear set opinions, as in contrast to Marco Styles, and I got a lot of flack. But don't worry, you guys are going to see what it is that I'm actually pointing at when the next Division game comes out. and then you guys, it's probably gonna make sense then. But let me go ahead and try and see if I can throw it out here for you guys. So the definition of the word classified means divided into classes or placed in a class. Now, I don't know how people read classified when they were released. I think they kind of read it as, oh, this is some kind of top secret thing, because yes, the word classified has been used for top secret information or whatever. I mean, it's the world we live in today, but that's not necessarily, I think, that wasn't necessarily its use in that context. I think they brought out these gear sets to actually start developing a class system within the Division game as an RPG. So this is how they designed it. Their intention was this: we want to make a class with these gear sets where this specific player is able to do this one thing and do it very well and do it efficiently. So they created the classified striker where you can't mix and match. If you notice again, the second parameter with the classified gear sets was that you had to don the 6 pieces to get all the benefits of the gear sets. Now the gear sets that didn't have the good 6 pieces were pretty much abandoned. They were pretty much thrown in the trash. You know, Tactician, some Alpha Bridge, and Alpha Bridge's 6 piece was very hard to deal with. Deadeye 6 piece, those weren't implemented very well. I feel like the reason they probably didn't put too much time to make a whole, you know, hoopla out of them was because this was pretty much just a test, just to see how the community was going to receive it. A lot of people hated it. Their deal was, oh, the classified gear sets have ruined the build diversity in the game. Rightly so. The game was not developed with the intention that these gear sets will be here to actually do these things. Because back then, if you were building a healer build, you had to be creative and come up with an idea of your own. Use gear set pieces that you felt was going to be appropriate for you to be able to do that. People used to build. Can you believe that at one point, people used to build healer builds with Sentry's Call? You won't believe it, but this game has gone through that cycle. People used to build tank builds with Sentry's Call. People used to do all kinds of fun stuff with the gear sets. But with the whole mix and match thing that we're used to be able to try to move us into the class system was such a big shift, a big paradigm. But I think in the Division 2, you're going to turn on that game, you're going to download it, you're going to open up the game, and you're going to find yourself actually either trying to build everything that makes up a class for your player, or you're going to be not forced, but you're going to be, placed in a situation where you have to choose a class that you develop your player under. Now, this is my prediction, like I said, and I may be absolutely wrong, but look at the classified gear sets. They're going to tell you exactly the story. So you have classified striker, which is pretty much a full-on DPS build. Has some healing that comes with it, but it's an all-round, well done, well varnished DPS build. Look at Reclaimer. Reclaimer is a full, well varnished, well done healer build. Look at defense. Oh my goodness. I used to be so upset when I used to get those defense pieces, and then I started watching some videos recently of people who soloed Falcon Lost just using the defense gear sets. I mean, that's crazy. That gear set is so good, and it's not necessarily the fact that it's defense, it's just the fact that we actually have a tank class in this game. From the moment it was conceived, D3 has always been just the bomb. Like, it dropped and dropped so well. And I think when they introduced it, they were just testing to see how it was actually going to be, accepted. And so far, it's received a lot of love. Now, yes, some people say the classified gear sets, have destroyed the build diversity, but I think that's probably what the developers wanted to do. They wanted to I think they're probably going to structure the game to be where they want it to be, so that there is the balance that they want to achieve. So imagine if they only have 4 or 5 gear sets in the next Division game, or 4 or 5 classes. I think they're gonna try to do away with the gear sets, where we're just gonna be dealing with numbers and some other things just to make it fun or exciting. But imagine if you only had to deal with 4 or 5 versus 14 right now. I mean, 14 is just too much. A lot of the gear sets or the classified versions are just in the gutter. I mean, that's what they are right now. So I think simplification is going to make the game much more enjoyable, but you're going to be building classes, is what I think. You're going to have, maybe, I don't know how it's going to be implemented. I don't know the specifics. I don't know anything about the game. This is just a prediction, but I think we're going to be doing our gear sets, if they're called gear sets or whatever it is. They may not even call them classes. They may just go ahead and call it gear sets, just to keep it as a familiar term for us, that are veteran players, or for the new people who came into Division 1 at the end. But these gear sets or whatever it is, we're going to be put in situations where as a player you get to play a role. Now here's the difficulty: how are they going to accommodate solo players? And I think they already probably answered the question. There are gear sets that are actually capable of doing these things, and I think the way they're going to do it is pretty much the question a lot of people are asking. A lot of people were complaining about Nomad, you know, 4 players in a dark zone running all Nomad, just trolling everybody. They don't die, they're too strong, they're running 10k firearms Nomad, and people were saying deactivate the last Nomad talent in a group. I think if you're running one of these classes and you're in a group, it's not going to be beneficial for you in the group. Take the case of Alpha Bridge. Alpha Bridge is definitely a solo build, but you don't enjoy the benefit of the signature link of 3 other group members. So already you're at a disadvantage when you're in if you play in a group. But then if you're playing solo, you have the advantage to get all the benefits of all the signature skills every time you land a kill. So you're rewarded for running the gear set, but only if you're running it by yourself, and you're pretty much at a disadvantage if you try to run it in a group. So I think they're going to try to bridge that gap in implementing the gear sets. So I'm at 11 minutes. I need to give you guys time to actually ponder this and put some comments in the comment section. So let's talk. What do you think is going to be happening with gear sets? You think we're going to see the gear sets show up again? I mean, this is just one prediction. I think all the other gear sets may, or there might be different versions of them, but I think we're actually going to play classes in the Division. And don't be surprised, a lot of people might be, I don't know what it is. A lot of people might think, oh, this is, you know, this is too much for them to learn, a big learning curve. But I know, you know, veteran players are going to adapt. We're using the same engine, and so a lot of the same things are going to be implemented. We don't know the location yet. I still think it's, I don't know. I'm not going to say any location yet, but this is just one of my predictions. I'm going to make 2 other videos with 2 other predictions that I think are going to be in the game once we open it. So leave comments, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You guys keep the channel active. People are still commenting on videos that I've made weeks and months ago, and so that's pretty much what it is. It's there for you guys, man. So leave comments, let's talk, man. Tell me what you think. I guess I'll see you in the second video, and peace.